I remember both of us getting onto this chapter here. God really exists. When you look at a beautiful building, have you ever wondered who the builder was? If someone told you that no one had built the building, but that it had simply come into existence by itself, would you believe it? Of course not. As a Bible writer says, every house is constructed by someone. Everyone knows that. Well then, can we not accept the logical conclusion of the Bible writer? He that constructed all things is God. Consider the universe with its billions of stars, yet all of them move in the heavens according to laws that keep them in what? In perfect relation to one another. Well, I'm sorry, we're learning more about the universe, and that's not true. There's actually a planet that's standing right next to the sun, and that's planet X Nibiru, and 36,000 years ago it smashed into the earth, and that's what caused the flood. So there's also talk now of roaming planets, which are planets that have fallen out of solar systems, and they're just wandering around the universe. So that's wrong in itself. So basically, and also I didn't really agree with this one here, where it talks about the ransom sacrifice, and I just didn't like it. Didn't feel comfortable. I mean, I never really believed in Jesus before. I just thought he was just this fictional character. But when we were going to this, he gave his life as a ransom, and it says in here the word ransom is often used when there is a kidnapping. After a kidnapping captures a person, he may say he will return the person if a certain amount of money is paid as a ransom. So I'm thinking, it's almost like God's got this obsessive love over us. So he's willing to sacrifice his son to us in order to blackmail us into worshipping him. Because, you know, I don't know if it really happened or not, this situation with Adam and Eve and eating from the tree. I just think that why did they do that in the first place if they were perfect? But I'm just so relieved. I'm hoping this story of Adam and Eve eating from the tree is all just allegoric, because at the end of the day, there's much coming out now that the first human couple were actually created and to give offspring to a slave race for the Anunnaki. So it's Enki who actually is the father of humanity, and we were all genetically engineered. That sounds like and makes more perfect sense. And basically there's the jealous, talk of the jealous brother Enlil or something like that. But if you go back to the Zachariah Stitchin writings, it all makes much more perfect sense. Because this story of a perfect couple being put in a Garden of Eden, and then all of a sudden they get tempted. But I was just thinking, they had the tempter in the middle, Satan the devil, and why would a perfectly good angel just suddenly turn against God? There must have been stuff going on up in the heavenly realms where good, intelligent angels were getting a bit fed up with just being angels. So they must have been thousands of years older than us. And now you're hearing all the elders saying, if you don't do things Jehovah's way, well, I don't think the 2-witness rule is a good idea, and that's doing things Jehovah's way, is it? Having to expect children who've been abused, having to have another adult, or where can they get a second witness to prove the amount of abuse, and children having to be taken into a room with the elders and face their abuser. So if that's God's way of dealing with things, I don't think that's fair. And but anyway, I'll leave that there.